Well, I feel like I give up. Yet again, it's second time where I just want to leave. This life kind of sucks, you know, and it's usually just a couple of people making your life miserable. When you could reach an agreement of some kind, you can fix the problems, but the suffocating manner of evil all around you, when no communication is possible, I mean, that fucking hurts. Not a long time ago, 4 years ago, I kind of wanted to end it all as well. And now I'm in the same position simply because someone fucking flicked the switch and threatened my life to take away my freedom. You know, these people are not rational. You cannot just communicate with them. That's the most important part. Like, they're not going to be a part of the video, and they don't have arguments. Just sometimes the system is flawed and doesn't want to fix itself. Doesn't want to fix its own flaws. Doesn't want to fix the roads so people stop, driving off-road and hitting a tree by accident. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm alone. I don't have friends to help me out. My friends just fucking tell me that I'm a crazy person. And that's not very helpful, unfortunately. And people in the comments kind of just do the same thing, which is not very helpful. The lack of care is pretty obvious. So, I clicked a few buttons, and this is the difference between good and evil. Like, 1-to-4 ratio. I don't quite appreciate that, to be honest. Eventually, relationships break up and leave you nothing but bitterness. And you do have to test your loved ones if they actually care about you. Like, if you decide to suffer until death, which is the most easiest thing to do. Hunger Strike, the Hunger Games, boys. Here we go again. Second version of Hunger Games. Might as well watch the whole series and comment about it. It's right now day one, so I don't feel too bad, but the fear is killing me. The fear of just disappearing and getting the effects of domino effects. Like, I really want people to care. Like, I want people to not just build things, not just build fucking video games and play video games. I want them to actually exist, not just to build this every single fucking video. They don't exist that way. They're just trying to prove a point. They're just trying to talk about something. Hopefully it's educational. Hopefully you learn something. But here you go. I'm doing the Mr. Beast challenge of not eating to death. I don't intend to die. I have all the resources not to do that. But this is what happens when slavery hits the floor. When you realize what you're up against at the same time, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to force people to care, force people to understand, like, this is fucking serious. Like, I will die, I will disappear, the lights will turn off, and you will die too, probably, very soon after, because I'm holding on to a lot of valuable material. I'm trying to fucking bring sanity to the world. And a lot of dominoes will start falling down on other people. And who knows how I will experience that, but first, I will experience something else that comes with Hunger Strike, a very spiritual experience. This is the exit from everything, Businesses want you to work, and authorities want you to follow rules. And none of these fucking things make sense to me, because they become corrupted eventually. They want too much eventually. They ask for too much money, or they ask for too many rules that make no fucking sense. And like, it's very difficult to follow rules when they don't make sense. It's almost impossible. things have to make sense. Things have to be natural. Like, I have to naturally wake up when it's daytime and do my things. And not be forced to wake up at a certain time, meet you at a certain time. Like, fuck off, man. Relax. And take food that you put in my mouth and call it medication, bro. Like, for fuck's sake. And if you don't do that, if you do crimes, like, fuck. What crimes, bro? What crimes? So I talked about it. I am a threat to society that does not exist. That's pretty nice. There's random NPCs that I don't want to interact with. Big fucking deal. The threat to society are people who steal, who are naturally rude and nasty. I just sit here fucking silently and I'm a threat. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. A fucking policeman comes to my room and pretends that I'm a threat. I'm just sitting here to my computer like, what kind of threat I am? Where am I going? What am I doing here? Like, nothing is changing. And they just keep on fucking pummeling like fucking three people. With just nonsense. As if they threatened by me. That they cannot leave me alone. That easily. They have to ask too many questions. Like, that is pathetic. Literally pathetic, bro. They're looking for something else. And I've uncovered something very interesting, you know. In terms of medication, bro. This was uncovered a long time ago. But there's a sudden death chance of taking medication. This is the most popular medication. And when you type into Google sudden chance of dying, this is what you get. So it's not a coincidence. This is the most popular thing, and it actually acquired this little tag. And there's obviously authorities are going to try and rationalize of like, well, someone died for some reason, so we just kind of like they were taking all kinds of medication, so we had to like label eventually. Like, there's excuses upon excuses. Like, if someone dies of medication, that is pathetic, first of all. But yeah, like, that's not supposed to be a side effect. That's not supposed to be something you can acknowledge. It's not supposed to be something that people have to deal with and think about. Sudden death, like, that's a very troll move, to say the least. Like, how the fuck do you justify? Like, no common sense person would be able to just like skip through that and not be like, this is fucking weird. Sudden death chance when taking medication. That's a risk no one would want to fucking take, first of all. And obviously there's no such thing as sudden death, by the way. With that. You can see the difference when a person is dying. You can see when they're about to fucking die. The whole spiritual fucking world revolves around them. There's an aura of things that would happen if this person disappeared. So the world does not fuck around. You know, it might shrink the aura, and people give up their blessings and whatnot. And it all comes. It's emotional, bro. Because I'm doing it, you know. I'm gonna fucking shrink my aura. You'll see. The world will fucking come to terms of what kind of butterfly effect I was having on the world, because everything comes back. All the blessings that I gave have to come back because I'm threatened, you know. I'm being attacked. I don't want to do something, and I don't think it's valuable for me to do something, especially something as fucking stupid as taking medication that fucking almost kills you. And it's guaranteed to kill you because the side effects are pretty obvious. The most common side effects, let's say 1% of death, is weakness, mouth dryness, loss of appetite, and light nausea. And I figure it's always going to be 4 elements. It's always going to be. Because 4 elements are a repetitive thing where you have a superpower. You care in a different way. I care to be smart. So for me, loss of appetite means that I don't actually want to live anymore. That's pretty fucking big switch for a medication to give you, and it's just like, oh, it's just 1% of like these people. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? If this is what I get from medication, you're killing me. And you deserve to die too. Alright? Eye for an eye. And I think I fucking will dodge a bullet actually in the end of this death battle. But this is what people do. This is what they do. This is just 1 out of 4. I can explain other personalities, but I don't have those other personalities. Weakness is like, I don't want to do anything. You have anxiety, you want to do things, but I don't want to do anything. So you go cross over against yourself. You fight against yourself basically constantly. It's like, I would like to do things, but I feel weak and I don't feel like doing things. It's like, that is pretty painful for a certain type of person. Mouth dryness, it's like you're trying to say things, but it's like you feel uncomfortable. You feel that you're not going to deliver the message anymore. That's for a narcissist. That's for a person who's has a high ego, but they try to communicate, right? Like they try to send messages, try to see what's going to happen, right? Try to take action, and the easiest thing to do is talk. They have mouth dryness. They have a impaired ability to talk. They will immediately notice that because they need that ability. So they will immediately complain to the doctor, saying like, "This is what I'm struggling with right now." This is what medication does. It's just like the most common effect is we will take your superpower. That's what it's translated to. This is absolutely fucking brutal. It's human killing in Europe right now. It's human fucking killing that has been going on for years and years, and we just fucking, gave into that because they're smart. They have infected us for a very long time. They're very smart, and they're attacking me, and I will have to defend myself as best as I can, first using death on myself, and then whoever wants to save me, I will kill them. And that's how we're gonna fucking go, Yeah, you try to save me, I will kill you. Yes, I will not use weapons that will kill you instantly, but I will take your heart out and shred into pieces because I know what to say. I know how to defend myself. I'm not a fucking stupid person, who can just get attached to the Matrix and like they're just gonna pump my blood, fucking steal my organs or some bullshit like that. I'm not signing any papers. I'm not doing any shit. I'm not doing any favors here. There's so much evil out there that has been corrupting this fucking outside world, that yet again I come to terms with suicide, and I apparently need some right now. So well, we're gonna take it slow, and again I'm already trembling out of like fear and uncertainty, and basically that I don't have food in my stomach as much as I used to. Light nausea, bro. When you don't want to, like, if you're in power, you're a powerful person, you don't want to be confused. You don't want to be like uncertain of like your ability to control yourself. That is incredibly destructive. Light nausea, it's like, yeah, let's do that, right? Let's just take away people's superpowers so they cannot defend themselves, and then we fucking trash the shit out of them. We beat them up, basically, as best as we can. That is pretty brutal. This is what I've seen. This is what I've experienced. This is what's going on. I cannot expose it because nobody fucking cares. And so we're gonna just die one by one. Am I right? It's gonna be fucking eliminated from the system. Whoever decides to resist and all that shit against the authorities. No, these are corrupted scammers, bro. These are the ones who fucking replaced authorities with something else entirely. They're not authorities because the authorities have to get your consent, and these ones didn't fucking get my consent, because you can withdraw your consent whenever you feel like it. You don't have to participate in a fucking spectacle when it feels like it's going downhill, so I fucking leave, and I stop participating. It's fucking stupid. This is really fucking painful that it's going on. And this is beyond medication, is bullshit. Medication is the hidden ultimate scam of Europe. The thing that, you know, makes the purge a reality, a necessity, a way to actually clean up Europe once and for all. You know, maybe it will start now and will last 2 years and will continue lasting, just like Russian-Ukrainian war. Probably not going to end now, and just like the pandemic is always like reoccurring in China almost. But it would at least start the progress of cleaning up the fucking mess, and probably will give me a safe space if I will be rescued by someone. I don't know, bro. Because this is very fucking deep. A very deep darkness that I've uncovered. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to fucking do. Maybe that's my purpose of life. But now I have to give up because the enemy is too big. I will not win. I am dead, my friends. Like, this is over. I can always pretend to be a good speaker and deliver you guys the information you need to know if you want to survive. But I may not survive delivering that information. You know, I have passions, I have to follow my passions, and I have hopes, I have to follow everything, and I have to collect all those fucking sonic rings when they reach out to me. Alright, because every single time this falls down and I give up on more and more people, they have to send their blessings that hopefully I will come back to them. You know, so those get received, and I take another bite of myself over and over again. So while I'm eating myself, in actuality, my stomach, looking for food in my body, looking for fucking cancers to eat, I'm also, you know, receiving my blessings, receiving my content. Everything belongs to me, almost. Like, the entirety of YouTube kind of belongs to me right now. Until I am rescued or I die. Whichever will happen, but it belongs to me now because I'm the one who cared the most. I don't fucking hear people caring that much. They care about their own problems, which is fair. But my problem is that I don't have friends, meaning that I care about other people. You know, that's what I have to do. Like, if I want friends, I have to care about other people. But I can't just neglect myself and just start posting videos that get fans or get attention or post my face all of a sudden. Like, you don't need that information to be my friend. You know, if you want to be friendly, then you should be helpful and caring, and anything works. As long as I'm, you know, loud and proud about it, at very least. As long as I feel like a genuine, real person, not generated by AI. And I'm pretty sure that's the case. Because the most important part is that I'm not asking for money. I'm asking for, like, actual involvement, actual conversations that would lead to something, lead to a solution. Because the problem is so big, and it's affecting a lot of people, including my mom. Like, anyone who's hooked for eternal medication are being labeled as criminals, as being labeled as out-of-control people who will never change in their lives. They have to be over-medicated. Clearly, because things do in fact change. Life changes, life progresses, people get better over time. They just do. And they have to be unhooked eventually, or at least being treated nicely, of like, wow, you have grown, you have changed. None of that is happening, bro. I didn't have a proud moment, a conversation where it's like someone acknowledged that something good has happened in my life, because nothing is happening in my life that they would care about. I'm just like, you know, an internet dweller. So anything that happens on the internet is not relevant for most of the people still. But I care. I care what I do, but I can't make other people care. and then the conversation doesn't fucking happen. It's complicated, of course, but like it's kind of fucking stupid at the same time. And why would a scammer care in the first place? That's the whole point. Like, you can strip away a scammer to bare nothings, and he will be a better scammer that way. He will be a better human being that way. Whatever he wants to be. Well, you can strip him away. Like, you can purge those people for free and they won't even notice. Won't even notice anything missing. You can tell them, okay, you don't need the computer, you don't need the notes, you don't need any of this stuff, you don't need an assistant, you can just stay in a room, just talk to people, and you get paid for it. And they won't even fucking notice the difference, you know? I will notice because I have to interact by force. They don't notice because they just want to get paid. It's like whatever YouTube would pay for the scammers, that would be a way to scam the scammers, right? So they pay a pool of money to the scammers, like the bait. Do bad things, you know, do bad things over there, like that. You know, they tell you to do that, and then they pull the plug. In fact, funny enough, Lucid is actually talking about this thing where he's trying to detach from YouTube. I don't know. He sounds like a scammer, but he deals with scammers and hackers. But it's sketchy, you know, like it's weird. Maybe he's well aware to be a good person, hopefully. It's arguable, but the fact that he's open about it makes him less of a scammer, of course. I respect. And he's a virgin still? I don't know, bro. He seems to be loud and proud about it, so I'll take his word for it. But yeah, you just send money to a certain location, like fucking bitcoins. You can earn these bitcoins and fucking cut them off. Cut them off eventually. Easy money, and then you fucking cut them off. All of them. And you keep on potentially sending all these like fake rewards for YouTube money. Wow. But it happens to be an anti-scam or anti-immoral behavior scam that YouTube does to catch the scammers. You have to predate the predator sometimes. It's just how it works. Now, we haven't actually touched the main subject of slavery. Slavery is bullshit. And it's very easy to detect, you know, you're being asked for a lot of money, that it seems unreasonable. And the rules that seem unnatural. So these two things can happen and you can start detecting slavery is going on. And you have to escape somehow. It's very difficult to escape. For me, my escape is just giving up because I normally am in a pretty safe location. The only thing that is not safe is the fact that they might detect that I don't like them, that I don't consent to their shit, that I am not earning enough money and I'm just sitting in a room doing nothing. They will detect that eventually. But normally I'm in a safe location until I lose my jobs or until I just feel the side effects, so to speak. Because I definitely felt the side effects when they started injecting me with the venom, bro. Holy shit. In the end, it can turn into an IQ test while we're trying to save Europeans from this bullshit rule following. Because they can feed you poison. It's the only way to control you. Is feed you poison. Is feed you wrong things. When I went to UK, I had experienced this. When I came back home, I experienced this. I'm experienced mother and father of these things because I followed my dad to UK and then I came back home to suffer from this immediately. I'm celebrating my birthday immediately. I'm getting arrested like that. You can't make this shit up, man. That is painful. Yes, I was a little bit psychotic. My mom is a ridiculous person. and has been very combative at first. Right now, she calmed down. Over time, with enough social experience, like she's calm, she trusts me, whatnot. It's all good. But she was very combative at the start, and pissed me off. I'm also like rough around the edges, of course. I didn't make the right moves. I wasn't educated on how to do the right moves, but they take advantage of that. They grab you and they fucking drag you in and they fucking label you as mentally ill, and the story begins, and it's fucking insanity, bro. They create all these like weird rules that you can't possibly follow because you just don't understand how they work, and that's the whole point. That's what they're hoping for. It's just how the system of scams works. They hope that you don't understand everything, that you don't know all the fucking things that you can do, everything that you're allowed to do. You don't understand. But you need to know who to trust the most, who's the savior out of all these people, because if it's all corrupted by evil, like it's very difficult to actually trust anything at all. For me, I'm just like, I give up. No, I'm not doing that puzzle again. That's fucking bullshit. When they blatantly, literally just kill people, take away their superpowers, manipulate them, disarm them that way, so they're no longer threats to anyone at all. If I'm not a threat to anyone, then I am the one being threatened. Someone will take advantage of me. I'm the one gonna be scared all the time. Like, you don't understand. I have no ways of defending myself anymore. People have to be threatening, but I'm not even social, so they don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand what they're asking. They're just running their scam as hard as they can to the max. And some people just are so vicious, they just fall into that category anyways. They just fall for it. Not in terms of they're going to be slaves. They're going to be the side with dark side, bro. They're going to be the evil ones. They have decided to do that. And this is so pathetic. Like, I talked to one friend, oh, just change location. Oh, it's so fucking cheap to do that. You talk to other person, you fucking, oh, go to therapy. Oh, yes, therapy is everywhere. I can get it for free. It's like, and I will definitely trust that person while I'm paying them. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? These were the advice that these people gave me? Who are these people anymore? They're not my friends. They're fucking assholes. They're evil now. They don't actually give accurate advice. The accurate advice, like, I have to be able to apply this to fucking my life. I have to at least think differently, think more critically on what's going on. Make a first step, like, say something to my mom, maybe she can help. Say something to people who I can actually meet face to face. I only have two. There's not a lot of options here, my friends. And maybe a third hidden, like a social worker or something. It's not a lot of options, bro. There's not a lot of ways to craft your pathetic advice. And when it flopped, it's just like, oh, I guess I just move on now. Because it kind of didn't work. I called you a crazy person. I called you fucking poor. Oh, I guess it's not working out anymore. So yeah, we're dealing with enslavement. Where do we go from here? Because again, sometimes you're surrounded by evil, sometimes you just need like the spiritual guidance. So you declare bankruptcy, you declare that you give up spiritually, and then like, I don't want to live anymore. And if nobody's gonna come here and save me, nobody's gonna be the superhero, everything that I've created is gonna be wasted because I hold the keys to all the, things. I hold the keys to this program that someone else can do, but like it's already done. It's already here. And I can improve it and I can teach people how to use it faster. Like, it's not that crazy, but it seems pretty useful. To me, I use it every day. So And I hold the keys to a lot of knowledge, a lot of information that's way better, way higher quality than the usual person fucking spits out of their mouth. They just collect facts, they just collect things that everyone agree with. And I don't do that. I have to come up with that shit myself. I have to think for myself. It's all unique ideas that I worked very hard on, and I don't want people to spit on it. But here comes the time when you will notice that something might be missing. The Mandela effect is happening. The fucking someone very important might be dying right now. And I want you to really notice the changes that are happening the next month. If you're a viewer, I mean, like, you're part of that group of people that might be cut off any moment. That might, you know, have seen the same Mr. Beast video as I did, and might leave some kind of comments afterwards. I don't know, bro. Something might happen that synchronizes with everything, that makes you care. Because those things are very rare. Things that make you care, things that feel genuine and like that you can participate in. It's like limited slots. 10 out of 20 people have already joined. Please join in, or I will care 20 times. You know, this shit happens. So I haven't said that, but the idea is that the biggest killer of humans is slavery. Is enslaving people. Now, Mark Passio says government is slavery. No, it's the scammers. Free people who pretend to be authorities, but they're actually not. Just ignore them as hard as you can and give them reasons of why you can't do certain things if they ask you something. Well, I can't do it because then this and that. But what do you do when a lot of businesses ask for your money like that? That's a hard thing to actually dodge. You have to be obviously very careful, not spend money that rapidly. You have to value it properly. But the most important part is to find the safe spot. Just like you're looking for reasons. You're either looking for a good workplace, that's a safe spot, or just a spawn point. This is how spawns used to look like. Spawned, the engine. I have renamed it into influence tracker, but that was the spawn point. And this is how I would mark spawn points from now on. So here you go. It's still a W, boys. You win or you lose. You respawn or you keep on going forward. Spawn point is very necessary. So your safe space, where you go back to put your resources, whatever you collected. If you don't have a safe space, if you're not accumulating profits, you're not making much progress in this world. And you better not be stuck with student loan because, again, you know, it's just another form of slavery, another form of attacking you with requesting money from you, which doesn't always fly, I don't think. So maybe sometimes you can dodge that shit. You have to reason, not respect, and stand for something. This is a symbol for runes. Something that, I guess, runs in your blood. Something that you truly believe in. You stand for something. So you cannot be drafted into an army that easily. You stand for something else. Like, you can't do that. You stand for something more moral and more powerful than just your country as a whole. It's not that easy, bro. It's not that fucking easy. Just like, oh, defend your country. Nah, bro. What about those other things that I care about? I want to defend those. You know, so once you have a good stance, you cannot be attacked by rules. Now, can I save myself by thinking this way? Because this is new information. Yes, I can. I don't like it. I just don't like the situation here that we're in. Like, I'm unmasking the biggest scam in fucking human history, bro. Besides flat Earth, of just like medicating people till the day they die for whatever the fuck reason they can come up with. Like, that's pathetic. That's really pathetic way of I don't know, taking profits, making something that people apparently need. It's hard to tell, bro. And some people will still defend the idea, but you don't know how medication works. And the side effects tell a completely straightforward story. You know, that you probably don't want to take that shit in your mouth. It's not food, it's not water, it's a fucking substance that has been man-made for whatever the fuck reason. And it's supposed to have effects on you, which is very unusual in the human world. Like, I'm okay, like, fucking eating mushrooms and having some kind of weird effect, but, like, we're talking about pills here. We're talking about potentially sugar or spice that does not taste very nice, unfortunately. So, neither of these indicators give me confidence to take any of this shit, unfortunately. And now I have to fight the system, who's desperate to tell me that if I don't take, I will turn into Hulk and I will kill everyone. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, you can expect that, absolutely, for some reason. It just sounds like fear, though. It sounds like fucking irrational bullshit. But that's how they want to enslave you. They want to feed you irrational ideas. And if you fall for them, you're gonna be enslaved. You're gonna be a robot. You're gonna be a cog of the machine. They spiritually trap you by giving you irrational ideas to believe in, irrational things to do. And it's really painful, bro. When there's like no escape, when you're like convinced in a way. It is really fucking painful. Now, I wouldn't be a dude if I a white dude if I didn't talk about the black dudes or do a little bit of racism thing, but I still don't know what's going on. It just seems that black people live harder lives, but like they're destined to do that. They have the culture for it, they have Africa for it, a poor place where they're constantly struggling and constantly making too many children. So it's like, well, it's your fault. The burden is always going to be on the parent first, and the children will do whatever the fuck they want and starve to death if that's the requirement, you know, in that world. They will deal with it. You don't have to fucking cry about it that much. They will deal with it. What you have to look for are people that you relate to, people you agree with, most importantly, people who are not hostile, which is ridiculous, man. Because you're a foreigner now. Nowadays, because you're a foreigner, you have to have your privileges given. Just like women had to get privileges, like everyone has to be equal for this moment. It's okay for a time being, but everything will have to go back to normal. Meaning that these people who just came in illegally or running around butt naked and making crimes left and right, like even in UK right now, like crimes are legal all of a sudden. Like petty crimes are just fucking legal and everyone just doing whatever they want, it seems. That is literally the purge. You know, at least it comes down to people talking about car theft, that police is not going to pursue you under that. Which, because jails are full and stuff. We have reasons, guys. Jails are pretty full. I mean, how did you fill up jails in the first place? That's a pretty big question. Like, what the fuck had to happen until you filled up your jail? and maybe just ship those people somewhere else. I don't know, bro. And in the fucking islands, just get rid of that shit, and then you have empty jails again. I don't like justice system, but like criminals probably fucking deserve it if they constantly repeat their crimes and just they're desperate to do that and they can't do anything else out of desperation. Nothing else comes to mind, just to do crimes. I mean, that's pretty weird. But some things can be justified, and again, you're not guilty until proven as such, right? Until not one but many people decide that, yeah, this is not acceptable. You have to do this and that to gain our trust back and all that shit. That is understandable. So yeah, the most common ways that people get enslaved is through being asked to work tirelessly for whatever reason. They get in a loop, in a hamster wheel. They get trapped. Soul trap is where you no longer have freedom to do whatever you want. And people are jealous of people like that who stand up for authorities and all that shit, who do whatever they want. Like, people are so secretly jealous of me, they want to block me, they want to make me not exist, because I'm free like a bird. I'm allowing myself to say whatever I want. People follow so many rules, they think that I'm a crazy person because I'm not following rules. Well, that's not how it works. I'm a crazy person not to use freedom that I have, the life that I have been given, use it as freely as I can, whatever I can do. And I feel like it's running out a bit because now I'm fucking accumulating enemies out of my ass. You know, people who are jealous of me having freedom for some reason. People who are somewhat afraid openly, but they just try to manipulate you. Manipulate you with their own fear. They think their fear is a resource that they can use against me. And it's like, wow. That is impressive. That's very impressive. How fucking stupid you are. You know. The only thing is like, well, I can't do crime. I can't just fucking kill you on the spot. I can't just punch you in the face until you get knocked out. Can't quite do that, you know. I have to find other ways of ripping you into shreds. It's just how it goes. And there's multiple ways because you know, people take a hit in many ways. I just don't know how to fucking do that spiritually. Obviously, I have to confront him, but then he's gonna, like, you know, pull out the fucking psychosis card that he did on me. It's a whole fucking enemy shebang. That's very hard to defeat, man. And I'm not sure where's the saving grace in that one. Because I don't really want to fucking leave home. I don't want to die. None of these things make sense to me. Because life gets better. But I have to play with death. I have to play with matches. I have to stab myself a couple of times and see who cares. Because I don't think it's happening right now. I don't think people care enough. I think evil has, you know, taken over quite a bit. This is the time when we have to start actually thinking for ourselves. This is the time when we can start resisting the nonsense, because we have seen 2 instances of that. And once you identify what happened in China and Russia, you can identify what's going to happen in Europe. You can start predicting the future all the way to the point where you can resist the evil. You can start detecting where evil is, how it's operating, what it's doing. There's obviously evil in America too. You cannot deny that. And it has its own form. And probably does not come through medication. You know. Like, what these fucking scammers are trying to imprint on you is that, like, you have to respect society. And if you're a threat to society, like, nobody's gonna like you anymore. But nobody likes me already, bro. I don't see society. Like, you're not gonna fucking scam me with this bullshit. It's just I don't have enough power to take you down. I don't have a fucking machine gun to nail you in the fucking coffin. I don't quite have that. You should be like very grateful for that shit. That God didn't give me a machine gun. For now. Just for now, bro. Now, and this is like within my country, so like, yeah. I'm not fucking defending my country if this is what's fucking going on. You're not gonna drag me into army. Even if they promise me a fucking machine gun afterwards, it's still questionable if it's gonna be a waste of time or not. It's just stuff that's going on that just people think is normal, but that's what enslaves you. You get fooled. You get fooled by something, you feel like you're powerless, you don't question your ability to escape slavery and capture more freedom. You're just jealous, but you're not taking any action and not apologizing or asking for things that you might want to have, you might have access to. People do not hold conversations with me. They just try to scam me. They just learn the fucking way of the scammer instead of way of the fucking genuine person who's honest, who's able to do things properly. You know, they just like scamming more because it seems easier. It seems more straightforward. You know, it seems that it enables them to take action immediately, and it's very satisfying to them. But the only immediate action you can do is jump into slavery. Just admit that you're a slave and, you know, sign up for it. Sign up for slave. That's the... You feel like you're scamming someone, but you're just signing up for more slavery for yourself and everyone else around you. You know, and hopefully you don't fucking piss people off. Because the purge is here. The purge is now. And people don't want to be enslaved. But what is the feeling of slavery in general, right? Like, it's so suppressing. It's like, oh, I have to do this thing or I will get in trouble. You know, bad things will happen. The fucking clouds are going to be overhead over me, and people will fight over the things I have because I'm enslaved. You know, because they have torn apart reality to the point where they think I have to do certain things or I will lose my property, everything will be taken away from me. And technically, again, this guy detaching from YouTube, trying to not be dependent. If YouTube shuts down, this guy says, like, all the signups, all the accounts that signed up, they will be gone. I will get no profits. Obviously, it's a very, very selfish move in this case, but you want stable things. You don't want things to be able to be taken away from you just like that. And they usually are not. You know, is that 1% case? 1% of cases end with sudden death without any explanation. I don't know what happened. You know, some people are capable of resisting. Some people are capable of fighting as best as they can. And they're being murdered, potentially. And that's just a label. And this medication is given to everyone without exception because this is what they want to get away with. This is how they fucking want you to sign up for it, want you to consent to death itself, and they're not gonna fucking think twice, you know, when they can do that without any problems, complications, you know. You could think like in China people are sort of enslaved, but they're looking for technological achievements. That's what they're looking in China, and they have to like kind of act like NPCs and collect that stupid social credit score. They have to do stupid things that is cringe to the rest of the world, but they're very smart in terms of rule following. So you can give them, you know, their type of world. Russians are fucking savages, and they can even convince each other of like, well, we're gonna fight this war now. This modern war. without any good equipment, nothing. We're just gonna go for it because Ukraine is like, we gotta take that. They just convincing each other, and it's like shit. Obviously, Putin is gonna be overthrown very soon, and God knows what's gonna happen to him. Hopefully, many bad things. But it's just like they're fucking savages. They're out of control, so they have to dump their emotions somewhere. They have to lash onto something. They have to be angry about something. Just go rage bait on something. Fucking this nonsense. What does that have to do with slavery? Well, that's freedom. That's how freedom looks like. You have a freedom. You have freedom to attack another nation. And that's where they find their freedom. The savages actually are convinced of like, we're gonna fight for this. I don't know how they did it, but fucking hell. You can, I mean, you gotta hand it. That's pretty crazy. Like in modern times, doing a war, and there's obviously like miniature wars going on that I cannot explain because I haven't invested. I'm just looking at big nations and their personalities. I guess for the last thing that I want to do is uncover American slavery and what's going on there. But people are just slaves to be worshipping something, right? Of worshipping idols. That's what's going on in America. They think it's like a normal thing, but it's still kind of weird. You must understand. It's still weird. It's not common all over the place. All right? I don't think in China, like, they worship idols that much. Or in Russia, like, they don't have that many things. In India, it's questionable, but, like, there's so many of things to worship almost, I feel like. It also kind of blurs out the lines. So it has to be crammed into one channel and called T-Series. It's just what happened. So it's all a blur. In Europe, like no one's popular enough to be worshipped across entire Europe. It's very difficult. So only Americans can do that. Americans can make someone really popular, but this comes in the cost of enslavement through sort of idol worshipping and kind of cult creation as well. Like you can see that across YouTube as well. People are just relentlessly attached to YouTubers, labeling them either as good or bad. It's just what they do. But everyone has black and white within them. It's a mix of things. It's always a mixed bag, and it can't easily decide. Like people can't just snap decide of like you did a crime, you're bad. That's not that easy, bro. So this idol worshipping, like you can do it to a certain degree as long as you have the ability to decide between good and bad. What is good and what is bad. Otherwise, you cannot. You just can't do it. You can listen to their music still, but you cannot worship them anymore. You know, because now you're confused. Now you're potentially a cult member, right? So of course, if you fall for too many rules in China, or like you don't know how to follow them, you're gonna feel enslaved. If you don't know how to escape war in Russia when you're sent into war, if you don't know how to escape that shit, you're gonna be enslaved and even killed. Oh boy. If you don't know how to think for yourself in Europe, people will threaten you with isolation and you will feel enslaved. Yes, it's just fucking isolation wars and mental illness wars is what's going on. I can live in isolation, but I want pure isolation. I don't want to fucking be attached to some dude who doesn't fucking understand me at all. You know, but technically I'm fighting every single day. In every single video that I make, I feel more confident standing up to the fucking asshole and spitting in his face if I have to, bro. I can do that. It's just like I will get into even more deeper trouble because this is pretty deep shit, as you can tell. Like, I need backup. I need a sniper rifle, bro. I can, in fact, try one more time, but I will come to this dude who's attacking me with empty stomach for like 30 days or whatever. And then we'll see how he's gonna talk to me. He's gonna still fucking attack me when there's not even a threat. There's a negative threat of like you're attacking a person who's suffering, who doesn't want to hear bad negative things, who didn't want to go to that place in the first place because walking is very expensive energy wise, so this guy's gonna have to stand up against someone who he can easily break, like I did. I stood up for an old woman and it turned into a crime very quickly. So hope he doesn't fucking commit a crime, doesn't he, with this fucking psychosis shit that anyone can do. Anyone can fall for this bullshit. Anyone can get labeled into mentally ill nonsense. So no one's safe. And he might want to be safe, but he chose not to be by dealing with the bigger devil. I can be as good as I am bad, or as bad as I am good. That's what skill is all about. Because sometimes you have to defend yourself, and sometimes you have to defend from slavery and figure out the way out of here. So just to recap, let's bake a cake of different countries again. Only worship idols if you know they are good. If you're not sure, well, your worshiping days are over. Next. Only isolate yourself if you think for yourself. Otherwise, you have to ask people for advice. You have to ask them to help you. I have to starve myself to get some attention and exchange it for actual advice and actual help. And you can't really be completely isolated. It's just nonsense, right? Having people to help you, that's pretty fucking nice. So I want that to happen. All right. When will my mom fucking understand that I'm starving myself without me fucking telling her in her face? I don't know how many days it will take, but it's not gonna take that long, bro. It's not gonna take an eternity. At some point she will fucking have to realize that. Otherwise it will be fucking embarrassing to give her hints and shit like that. Because day one is over, my friends. So, only enrage or see, in India you can feel like a blur, you can feel like you're disappearing, like you're not significant. Give up, I guess. I don't know. Enrage means that you're just going at it. You just want to fucking brute force something. If you can solve it quickly, I guess. I'm not sure what exact advice is. This is what happens to be crafted. And finally, only follow as many rules as you have learned. If you haven't learned the rules, you probably have to go to the rural area where there's less things to do. But you're gonna learn things quicker, and from there you can go back to the city, because it gets pretty weird. Like, I'm not sure in China how you survive exactly, but it feels like in cities there is a lot of pressure to follow ridiculous amount of rules. You can get the vibe in Japan that you sort of have the same thing in these Asian countries. Yeah, this is how fucking K-pop is constructed, out of women dancing in patterns and all that shit. They have to learn a lot of shit. They have to learn how to synchronize with each other constantly. A bunch of fucking K-pop groups get pumped out, and they have to follow even more rules. But if you haven't learned, like, maybe don't sign up for it, because you're just gonna be a failure in the end. Because there's a lot of hidden rules too. Technically, you have to have self-esteem and have to be very sure. Maybe you can even bend authorities to your will. I don't know what goes on in China, bro, in Asian countries. But those are the vibes. Those are the ideas. How to avoid slavery. Don't get fooled. You have freedom, and you're not supposed to waste your freedom. God given you freedom, all right? Now, how you fight for your freedom is always different. Again, I'm fighting in isolation. I'm fighting in complete darkness. But maybe it will inspire enough people to start helping each other more. And then I will not feel isolated. If I inspire other people to help each other, to be more kind to each other, I will not feel so isolated anymore. I will want to fight harder, potentially. Not just like stop eating food will be the fight, which is still a very, very hard fight, and it brings a lot of weird feelings and spiritual fucking existential things happen because of that. So this is very well known, by the way. Very well known. Like, starvation gives you like these fucking weird things. People practice that shit. Spiritual people like have read things. I don't know very much about it, but this is the theory that I have crafted, and it, because the theory is, when your consciousness is shutting down, and your consciousness can shut down for various reasons. When your consciousness is slowly shutting down, you will make an impact to you have made an impact to the world, so that impact has to like try and reward you now, trying to keep you alive, trying to come back, trying to feed back on you by force almost. You're forcing that shit, because once you disappear, whatever you made, whatever impact you made, doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's meaningless. The people will not be able to interact with you anymore and thank you for anything you have done. You know, when a literature or a history teacher is talking about people in the past, you have to be thankful. Like, even whoever mentioned Hitler a bunch of times, you have to be thankful for them for educating you. You know, that you at least know, you at least are aware of. You have to thank those people who are alive, who have educated you about those things. So I'm pretty sure this theory is how it works. Consciousness collapses on itself, and hopefully just one layer of these rewards is going to be enough to change my mind, but you never know how many it will take to bend my will. Because I'm like, well, the world fucking sucks. It's very evil. Convince me otherwise, little bitches. See you guys next time. I hope.